Hey guys, how's it going? Otaku Mike here, back again with another video for you guys today. Normally on the channel I talk about manga and anime, but I also actually really enjoy comic books as well. I know I don't talk about them a lot on the channel, but today I want to talk about one of my favorite comic book runs of all time. Specifically, I want to talk about Ron Mars's Witchblade, specifically Volume 1 of Witchblade, which is titled Witch Hunt. So, before we get into the whole story of this comic, I need to give you a little bit of backstory on what Witchblade actually is, because this actually takes place towards around issues 80 to 83 and onward. I think it's like 80 or 85, I can't remember exactly. But Witchblade is about a detective, a New York City detective named Sarah Pizzini, who is injured in the line of duty, and when she's about to die, this thing, which is called the Witchblade, attaches to her, basically saves her life, and gives her supernatural powers to fight the things that go bump in the night, like all the monsters and stuff like that. The Witchblade has been around for millennia, which you'll get into this when you read actually Witchblade itself. But the Witchblade has been around for quite some time, and it has had many bearers in the past. And our current bearer of the Witchblade is Detective Sarah Pizzini. Now, where this story picks up is in the previous issue, they allude to some kind of attack that happened to Sarah. She is in a coma in the hospital. She is accompanied by her partner, Jack. We meet a new person who's named Detective Gleason. Detective Gleason is sent there to figure out what exactly happened to Sarah Pizzini. Nobody knows what happened and how she ended up in this coma, because nobody knows she's the bearer of the Witchblade. But one thing that this comic does well is it introducing new readers to this world through Patrick Gleason's eyes, because Patrick Gleason, for the most part in this comic, is our eyes into the Witchblade universe as a whole, well, at this moment. And he's trying to figure out what exactly happened to her and why. Little and behold, Sarah eventually wakes up. She's trying to figure out what exactly happened to her within this context. She was at a church investigating something, and she got attacked by God knows what exactly. So Detective Pizzini, or Sarah Pizzini, and Gleason set out to figure out what exactly happened, who is involved in this incident, and how they're going to go about fixing it, as well as Sarah's recovery from this traumatic event that happened to her. Little do we know, slight spoilers, we find out that it's the Catholic Church that's involved, well, a sect of the Catholic Church, and they are trying to resurrect or bring about the quote true God. And things ensue, and Sarah gets involved within trying to stop the true God from coming about and basically kind of destroying the world. But in a nutshell, that's exactly what this story entails for Volume 1. Some people say that this isn't a good jumping on point. I would beg to disagree. I feel like it's actually a pretty good jumping on point for a Witchblade series, to get into the Witchblade series and universe as a whole. They do a pretty good job at explaining what exactly the Witchblade is, who Sarah Pizzini is as a person. They do a very good job at characterizing her and her quirks and her personality and stuff like that. I really enjoy this. I really enjoy Mike Cho's art. It's just drop dead gorgeous. Like, come on, look at this artwork. It's beautiful. It's just stunning, and I really really do enjoy it. Now, Witchblade does have a tendency to have a reputation of being a TNA cheesecake book, because a lot of the earlier depictions of Witchblade was her in this metal, like, bikini body armor type of stuff. With this, in this story, we don't see that at all, which actually, that's one thing that I actually really truly like, is when she dons the abilities and the suit of the Witchblade, it becomes a full suit of armor rather than just like a bikini style armor. That's one of the changes I actually personally really do enjoy, because honestly, I don't know how to say it. It just makes it easier to read sometimes, because you don't have that stigma of the book just being a tits and ass type of book. But for this story, the story is solid as a rock. It's basically a police procedural. They go track down the problem, they figure out the problem, they hunt for clues and stuff like that. I don't want to give too much away within the story wise, because it does set up some things that are going to pay off in the future when it comes to the other issues of this series that Ron Mars did. But it's really good. It pays off in really, really big ways, to say the least. But yeah, the artwork is stellar. The fight scenes are drop dead gorgeous in this. One thing I actually really, really like is the banter between the characters. The banter between the characters just seems real and not forced. It seems very organic, and that's one thing that I really, really like, is, they tell jokes. There's references to Laura Croft from Tomb Raider shows up at one point. They reference Dr. Phil. They reference real world events like 9/11, because they are established in New York City. But this is a world or a comic that I feel like anybody can get into if you're looking for more of a supernatural type of superhero. Because, to be honest, a lot of superheroes, they can get kind of stale. You don't want to eat the same hamburger and fries all the time. And when you grow up, sometimes your tastes mature and you want something different. I would say that different thing is honestly Witchblade. Don't let Witchblade's history mislead you. It's better than what it was in the 90s. Not all the 90s comics for Witchblade are the best, but this was a step in the right direction, and honestly, it got a lot of people into Witchblade as a whole. Me in particular, this was my jumping on point for Witchblade. I knew of Witchblade, I knew what it was, but this volume made me a fan, and I continued to read Witchblade until Ron Mars's end of the book. I didn't read it after that, because honestly, I felt like Ron Mars was the essential writer for me when it came to Witchblade. He nailed the characters and their voices. The artwork is just beautiful. I mean, come on, look at that spread right there. Come on. Anyways, if you're interested in Witchblade, I recommend picking this up. It's not that hard to find. You can either get in the single volumes, or you can get in this one big compendium, which is not bad. I personally like the smaller size. It's nice and small, like that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on Witchblade, if you have any, if you plan on picking it up and reading it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video.